oh, it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to be something we've never seen. They know what they're going to get.
But what I really like about that is that it gives you longevity.
Who is this person? Who is this character, right?
Yeah, I've noticed that with all of your messaging, with all of your marketing, with all of your copy, whether that be through your YouTube channel, your Facebook, or your blog, or wherever, Instagram, wherever you go, that branding, there's always that continuity in brand, right? There's that style, there's that look, there's that feel.
They can tell that's a Dan Lok brand. It's a Dan Lok message.
Yeah, you can tell it's a Dan Lok brand, even though sometimes you're talking about copywriting, and sometimes you're talking about high ticket closing, and sometimes you're talking about, wealth creation, or whatever the case may be. But the brand is the overarching positioning that you're taking, but that individual offer or that individual hook or mechanism can be different, but the overarching brand is still the same.
Correct. Dennis, can I share something very valuable with the audience? I think 100%. This would help them kind of put everything together, okay? And I learned this actually from my good friend Dimitri from Influx. It's called the brand triangle. Okay, the brand triangle. Because one of the questions I get from entrepreneurs is, hey Dan, should I build my personal brand, my company brand? Like how should it work? Should I on my YouTube? Is it my company? Is it me? Like all these things, right? And I'll share with you how this copy ties everything together. So the thing about the brand triangle has 3 components. First is the personal brand. That's Dennis Brown, Dan Lok, right? That's a personal brand, who you are. And then you have a company brand, right? What your company does. And if you're like me, you have multiple companies, you could have multiple company brand. And then you have what I call a product brand, right? What you actually sell. So think about Elon Musk. It's a personal brand, but company, he has Tesla and SpaceX, right? The product brand would be, let's say, the Cybertruck. That's a product brand. It talks to a certain type of audience, right? So think about all 3. If you build your social media on your company brand, what's the problem?
Yeah, the problem is
if you exit the company, you sell the company, you're starting from scratch.
Yeah, good point.
All the brand equity you build up, gone, right? But if you build on personal brand, you could get into different businesses. This is why I could be in different businesses, because it's about the personal branding. Lead with that. And then the product brand is what you offer, the actual value you offer the marketplace in exchange of money. How you solve problems for consumers, right? How you fulfill their needs. So this could change quite often. The company could also change from time to time, but the personal brand, it doesn't change. Doesn't matter why I could go into SaaS, I can go into copywriting, I can go into investment. It's still personal brand, but just different companies. So you build it on your personal brand, it gives you longevity. Now how everything ties into copy. Your copy ties everything together because your copy communicates who is this person? Who is this character, right? And then the company, what do you stand for? Everything that you put out there. People would know if they read a certain book, they watch my video, they have certain expectations. They know what they're gonna get, right? They know what they're gonna get, and that's good, it's consistency. Product, now it's those unique mechanisms in between. How do I take the product and get out in the marketplace? It gets people's attention, so they would take action. That's copy. But it's this all the time. Use your storytelling, communicate who you are, what you stand for, your values, your company, what's your vision, what are you about, and then your product. It's all copywriting. It's all storytelling. You can't do that without copy, and you cannot do that just with image.
Yeah, I love that. It's like the glue that holds it all together. But what I really like is the way you architected your business from a personal brand perspective, and then you can always have your product or your company brand. But what I really like about that is that it gives you longevity, and it gives you the ability to pivot and to make changes and adjust to the market as the market changes. Because let's look at it. 10 years ago, things that were valuable or important or doing well 10 years ago is very different today, even faster than that. Things are evolving very quickly. And so, but if you have a trusted brand, then you have an opportunity to much more easily pivot. But if you just have a trusted product and then that product goes away, so do you. I mean, you're going to struggle to try to relaunch a new product because you got to rebuild that trust.
And you think about take this is not new. I learned it from Richard Branson and Elon Musk. You look at Elon. If today he's got 2 major brands, Let's say tomorrow he wants to get into the food business. That's completely irrelevant to SpaceX, Tesla. But if Elon is doing it, do you think people will back him up?
100%.
Do you think he would get funding? Even if he doesn't
100%.
need it. But you think the same thing, because they know, oh, if Elon is getting into food, oh, it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to be something we've never seen. Because that's his personal
I want a
brand.
piece of that for sure.
Yeah, like something,
just because
right?
he has that trust, right?
It's exactly it, because they know he would he would build something, he would disrupt the marketplace. He would do it the Elon Musk way. That's a personal brand. It has nothing to do with the company. It has nothing to do with whatever he's going to sell. That matters less, because his personal brand is so strong, right? And that's the longevity. Same thing with Richard Branson, right? Why Richard could get into so many businesses? That's like airline, hotel, resort, entertainment. Like, what has that got to do with each other? Versus most entrepreneurs stuck with one.
And to bring it back to how copywriting ties into that, here's the thing. You can have the greatest personal brand in the world.
Yes.
But if you don't study and learn the proper copywriting skills,
Correct.
You'll have a hard time communicating about your company or your different products or services. If you can have that great brand, but if you don't tie it together with that valuable skill of copywriting, you're going to struggle.
And get your message out there. And here's the thing. A lot of entrepreneurs, oh, I'm not a writer. I just hire copywriters to do that. Yes, I have copywriters. I recommend you hire copywriters, but here's the problem. If you don't even understand the basics, the fundamentals of copywriting, how do you know the copywriters are not bullshitting you? How do you know he or she is good? How could you even tell? If you can't even recognize, like basic, good copy versus bad copy, right? The very basic. If you have no concept, how do you know this unique mechanism is good? How do you know the story is good? You can't tell the difference. I'm not asking you to be like a full-time, professional copywriter, but learn enough so that you don't get taken advantage of. Just like learn enough about social media and digital marketing so you can intelligently pick and choose the digital marketing firm you want to work with, right? So when I work with, Dennis, I work with consultants, I work with experts, I work with all that, but no one knows the brand more than myself. I know what my brand stands for. I know what works, and I know my audience. I understand marketing, and this is why it's great. When I work with any experts and consultants, it's like playing tennis. Like, it's back and forth. It's never help me, please. I don't know what to do. No, it's like, okay, let's brainstorm, and they enjoy that relationship more. It becomes even more productive because they know I know copy, I know marketing, I know sales. I like, these are the skills that I have. So it makes it way better. You get higher return, right?
Yeah, I can personally attest to that because after working with you and your team on LinkedIn, it was probably, I'll be extremely honest with you, I've met a lot of great clients. I've worked with a lot of great companies, but I will tell you in the last several years, working with your team was probably one of the most fun because of that dynamic back and forth. They knew your messaging. They knew your brand. They knew how to convey that. And all I did was try to steer them in the right direction on how to do it properly on LinkedIn and through social selling.
Correct.
And as soon as they understood those fundamentals, they were like a duck on water. Boom. They just hit the ground running.
And it makes the relationship so much easier and enjoyable for any vendors you work with, right? And that's great. So it's like the more you know this, the more you understand how copy works and how sales works, everything works better. Everything works better. You will make fewer mistakes. You'll hire fewer bad vendors. It's just the way it is. When you don't know, oh, how come I hired this company, I get burned. And I hired this company, I got burned again, I got burned again. I said, do you know how this actually works? No, I have no idea. That's the problem. You have no idea, right? But when you know, okay, because it's like someone, oh, help me write a page. It's gonna be $5,000. No, this is not $5,000. This is $2,000, but it's not $5,000, right? Like, it's that relationship. Now, I am in a very unique position because I could have copywriters where they're actually writing for me, but also they love the opportunity to kind of work with me, work with a company, and they could learn, they could grow as well. So I kind of elevate their game. So they are helping us, they're writing copy, but I'm also helping them to improve their skill sets, and they love that. Like, it's great. Like, they enjoy that relationship a lot. So as a business owner, this is what you need to know.